In the dim glow of the cabin lights high above the clouds, a sleek commercial airliner sliced through the night sky. The first-class section, usually a haven of quiet luxury with its plush leather seats and attentive service, became the stage for an unfolding nightmare. A poised black woman, dressed in understated elegance, a tailored blazer over a silk blouse, her natural curls neatly pinned, settled into her window seat, her laptop open to review business documents. She exuded confidence, the kind earned through years of hard-won success. Yet something in the air felt off from the moment she boarded. The flight attendant, a middle-aged woman with a tight bun and a uniform that seemed starched with rigidity, patrolled the aisle like a gatekeeper. Her eyes narrowed as they landed on the passenger, scanning her with undisguised suspicion. Whispers of doubt flickered across her face. How could someone like her be here? The attendant's steps quickened, her posture stiffening with an unspoken accusation. Without warning, the tension erupted. The attendant leaned in close, her hand rising in a flash of misplaced authority, connecting with the woman's cheek in a sharp, resounding slap that echoed through the cabin. Gasps rippled from nearby seats as the woman touched her stinging skin, her eyes meeting the attendant's with unflinching calm. In that frozen instant, the attendant's triumph twisted into uncertainty, as if she sensed the ground shifting beneath her. The woman straightened, her presence suddenly commanding the space, hinting at a revelation that would shatter assumptions and expose the ugly underbelly of prejudice lurking in everyday encounters. The cabin fell into a hushed suspense, passengers craning their necks, phones subtly raised. What had sparked this outrage? And what hidden truth was about to unravel the attendant's world? Dr. Aisha Reynolds had always navigated life with a blend of grace and grit. Born in a modest neighborhood in Atlanta where opportunities were scarce and expectations even scarcer for a young black girl, she defied the odds through sheer determination. Her parents, both educators, instilled in her the value of education and resilience, shielding her as best they could from the subtle and overt biases that permeated society. Aisha excelled in school, earning scholarships to prestigious universities where she studied aerospace engineering and business. By her mid-30s, she had founded Horizon Airways, a boutique airline focused on inclusive travel experiences, growing it from a small charter service to a competitive player in the industry. Her success was no accident. It was built on late nights, strategic partnerships, and a vision to make the skies accessible to all, regardless of background. On this particular flight, Aisha chose to travel incognito on one of her own planes, a routine she adopted to gauge service quality firsthand. Dressed down to blend in, she boarded the red-eye from New York to Los Angeles, selecting first class not for indulgence but for observation. The aircraft, a state-of-the-art Boeing model she had personally approved for the fleet, hummed with efficiency. Fellow passengers included weary business executives and a few celebrities, all settling in for the journey. Aisha noted the smooth boarding process, the fresh amenities, but her trained eye caught minor lapses, a delayed drink service, an uneven temperature control. The attendant, Karen Mills, had worked for Horizon for over a decade. Hailing from a small Midwestern town, she carried unspoken biases shaped by a lifetime of limited exposure. In her mind, first class was reserved for a certain type, affluent, often white professionals who fit her narrow view of success. When she spotted Aisha, something jarred her preconceptions. The woman's skin tone, her relaxed demeanor, didn't align with Karen's mental checklist. Doubts crept in, perhaps a booking error, or worse, an unauthorized upgrade. Karen's pulse quickened with self-righteous indignation, her thoughts racing toward confrontation. Little did she know, this passenger held the keys to the entire operation, a fact that would soon turn the tables in ways she could never anticipate. As the plane taxied down the runway, curiosity among the crew and passengers began to build, whispers hinting at underlying tensions that simmered just below the surface. The ascent into the clouds mirrored the escalating unease in the cabin. Karen's initial glances toward Aisha evolved into pointed stares, her movements deliberate as she served other passengers with exaggerated politeness, offering extra blankets to a white businessman, refilling champagne for a couple nearby while bypassing Aisha entirely. The omission was subtle at first, but it gnawed at the edges of civility, drawing sidelong looks from those around. Aisha, ever observant, noted the pattern, her mind cataloging it as yet another instance of the microaggressions she had faced throughout her career. The skeptical boardroom glances, the airport security random checks, the assumptions that her achievements were handouts rather than hard-earned. As the flight leveled off, Karen's discomfort festered. She consulted a colleague in the galley, her voice low but laced with urgency, questioning the manifest and implying foul play. The co-attendant, a younger Hispanic woman, hesitated, sensing the overreach, but Karen pressed on, her bias fueling a narrative of intrusion. Returning to the aisle, she hovered near Aisha's seat, her body language radiating hostility. Passengers shifted uncomfortably. A young black teenager in economy, peering through the curtain divider, felt a pang of solidarity, while an elderly white couple exchanged uneasy murmurs about keeping things orderly. The tension thickened like storm clouds. Karen finally approached, her face flushed with contrived authority, gesturing emphatically toward the exit as if ushering out an unwelcome guest. Aisha remained composed, her fingers pausing on her laptop where emails from her executive team awaited. The attendant's insistence grew, drawing more attention. A phone camera flicked on discreetly, capturing the scene. Other black passengers on the flight, scattered in coach, heard rumors filtering back, their own past experiences of profiling resurfacing, denied boarding, extra scrutiny, the constant need to prove belonging. Karen's actions escalated, her hand trembling with unchecked emotion, culminating in the impulsive slap, a physical manifestation of deep-seated prejudice that shocked the cabin into silence. The sting radiated through Aisha's cheek, but it was the symbolic blow that hurt deeper, echoing centuries of systemic injustice where black bodies were deemed out of place in spaces of privilege. Whispers turned to murmurs. The pilot's voice crackled over the intercom about turbulence ahead, oblivious to the human storm brewing. Aisha's mind raced, weighing her options, her success a shield she rarely wielded publicly. The stakes heightened. Would this incident expose the rot within her own company or become another buried statistic in the annals of racial discrimination? In the heartbeat following the slap, time seemed to suspend. Karen stood there, chest heaving, her face a mask of defiant satisfaction quickly cracking under the weight of collective stares. Aisha rose slowly from her seat, her stature commanding despite the red mark blooming on her skin. The cabin air thickened with anticipation, every eye locked on the two women. Without haste, Aisha reached into her bag, producing a slim identification card, her CEO credentials for Horizon Airways, embossed with the company logo that matched the plane's tail. The revelation hit like a thunderclap. Karen's eyes widened, color draining from her face as recognition dawned. This wasn't just any passenger. This was the owner, the visionary behind the very airline that employed her. The attendant's hands dropped to her sides, her body rigid with horror, the implications crashing over her. Years of service undone in an instant, her biases laid bare for all to see. Passengers erupted in a mix of gasps and murmurs, phones now openly recording as the truth rippled through the rows. The co-attendant rushed forward, her expression a blend of shock and apology, while the pilot was alerted via intercom. The flight's trajectory now secondary to the drama unfolding. Aisha's gaze held steady, not with vengeance, but with the quiet power of someone who had overcome far greater obstacles. The moment crystallized the raw injustice, forcing Karen to confront the consequences of her actions in real time, her world freezing around her as the plane continued its steady flight. As the plane descended toward Los Angeles, the aftermath unfolded with measured precision. Aisha, drawing on her leadership, calmly instructed the crew to document the incident, ensuring protocols were followed without further escalation. Karen was relieved of duties mid-flight, confined to the rear under supervision, her career hanging by a thread. Upon landing, airport authorities met the aircraft, and Aisha filed a formal report, turning a personal affront into a catalyst for change within Horizon Airways. Investigations revealed Karen's history of subtle complaints from minority passengers, leading to her termination and mandatory diversity training for the entire staff. Aisha used the event to launch company-wide reforms, including anti-bias workshops and anonymous reporting systems, transforming pain into progress. Word spread quickly. Social media buzzed with passenger accounts, sparking national conversations about racial profiling in travel. Aisha's story inspired others to share their experiences, from everyday commuters to high-profile figures, shedding light on the pervasive nature of such injustices. Her airline's reputation, ironically, strengthened, attracting a diverse customer base drawn to its commitment to equity. In the quiet reflection of her office days later, Aisha pondered the deeper scars of racism, how it lingered in unexpected places, eroding trust and humanity. This incident, inspired by real accounts of discrimination on flights, underscored a timeless truth. True power lies not in ownership, but in the resilience to rise above hatred. What if we all challenged our biases before they slap us into awakening? Let this story prompt you to reflect. Have you witnessed injustice in silence? Or will you be the voice that demands better? Share your thoughts below. Together, we can rewrite the narrative.